Hi, and welcome to Ask Better Questions with Alonzo Kelly. Today's topic is a recommendation on how you should respond to public challenges of your expertise. You may recall in a previous episode, I referenced the light bulb and what the goal of a light bulb is and the unintended consequences when a light bulb turns itself on, that it attracts a lot of attention. The same thing applies to this brief conversation today. What happens when you stand in front of a room and let your light shine, and how should you publicly respond when it's very clear it's being challenged? I offer you a couple tips. One, you should ask yourself as quickly as possible, are you in a space where you're offended because the question is asked, or are you clear that your expertise is being challenged? One of the first things that can absolutely destroy the beautiful point you may have been making is if you come across as being unable to handle public criticism. You let your light shine, and that's what happens. So be mindful not to completely lose the audience or the team because you got your feelings hurt. Once we've gone beyond that point, there are a few things that I do as someone who has experienced this on multiple occasions and anticipates it will continue to happen. The first is the person asking me a question publicly because they have a sincere desire to have me support their experience in what I'm talking about, or do they appear ready to fight or publicly engage in a spirited debate because I've expressed my opinion? One of the first things I do, to be clear, is I repeat back the question that I heard the person ask me. Today we live in a world where there are certainly no shortage of things that people can ask your opinion on politically, professionally, personally, of things going on in the community. When someone asks me a question and then asks my opinion on it, I repeat back what I heard them say. I want myself and the audience to be clear what it is the person is asking me. The second is, and maybe you've experienced this as it relates to public challenges, sometimes they feel like a gotcha question. Again, repeating back what I heard helps eliminate and be clear that whole gotcha feeling. The other thing it does is it forces the person to ask you the question to own the question. One of the things that I do sometimes in repeating back is I ask them to ask me the same question a different way. If they can't do it, then what I'll do is I will repeat back what I heard and then answer the question that I heard. The other thing that I've referenced before and I cannot reference enough is I start my answer with, it has been my experience. If I am presenting, for example, to a group of lawyers and they know that I am not a lawyer and someone says, Alonzo, what makes you think that will work? I take 2 seconds. I repeat back what I heard. If I'm still not clear when they repeat it back, I ask them to ask me that question a different way. Are you asking based on my experience? Are you asking based on the people that I've worked with? Are you asking based on what I've read? Or are you questioning the source of my experience? Allow the person to publicly declare from what angle they're asking the question, and then answer it, it's been my experience. One of the things I would like for you to always remember is, if you are answering a question or sharing information based on your understanding and your experience, anyone who chooses to question that is not authentic in their question. This is more about publicly making a point for them. I accept that human beings do not like to have their personal beliefs challenged or being put on display. It's also pretty clear that some people have difficulties letting go of their understanding of a previous topic or current experience. And I'm okay with that. Remember, most people are watching you, not the person who asked the question. So in summary, a couple things that you should do when you feel like your experience or expertise is being challenged publicly. One, Make sure that you are not in a space where your feelings are hurt. 2, ask the person who asked you the question to repeat it back. If that is not clear, then repeat back what you heard and then answer what you heard. 3, it's always a good idea to answer the question starting with the phrase, "It has been my experience." I'm hoping that this brief introduction on how to respond to someone who challenges you publicly leaves you, the person presenting, as being more professional and, the cliche says, above the fray. Thanks for watching this episode of Ask Better Questions. I look forward to seeing you next time. Find full episodes of Ask Better Questions with Alonzo Kelly online at WHBY.com. I invite you to find me on Twitter at KLGLLC and on Facebook, Kelly Leadership Group LLC. Thanks for watching this episode. We'll see you again soon.